Now, children, can you identify which are archaeological sources and literary sources? So you can see paintings will come under archaeological sources, coins will come under archaeological sources, the building will come under archaeological sources, and then you can see manuscripts. What are manuscripts? They are old books or documents written down by hand. They are called as manuscripts. So you can see here the yellow color is a manuscript and the one in white is the printing one. So that paper was invented. When paper was invented and printing press was invented, that will come under literary sources. When some things were written down, then it was called as the literary sources. Okay. Now let me tell you what are manuscripts, one of the very important literary sources. You can see they were written on paper and written by hand. And since it was rare, written by hand, that means there were very few copies of the original book. So it was collected by wealthy people, rulers, and monasteries and temples, and they would keep it there. But today we collect all our manuscripts, everything that is written by hand, and we keep it in libraries or archives. Archives is a place where the government stores all old documents. Okay, so that is called as an archive. Why do they collect it? Because they are vital source of information, and it's difficult to use because these are very old books. The paper quality is now tearing. Once you turn it, it tears away. The writing part becomes light and difficult to see. So you can see here there is a room where these are stored. All these old books are stored. They are called as archives. So manuscripts are old books or documents which are written down by hand, but later on with the printing press we could print more and more copies of it, but these are rare. They were written by hand. So children, we see in the span of 1,000 years what were the sources used by the historians: coins, inscriptions, architecture, and then finally the literary sources, the textual records. But it was not easy to write history because they had to go through so many textbooks. Okay, some were written by hand, some were printed. Okay, and then you can see during this time, the medieval period that we are studying, a span of 1,000 years. Okay, we see that between 700 to 1750 the other sources, that is archaeological sources, decrease, and we see an increase during this time of textual records and documents. Why did they increase? Because paper had become cheaper and people started using paper. The another difficulty was there, that there was a lot of discontinuity in these sources. What does this mean? We'll see the discontinuity. That means the information from one source, that means like we have book part 1 and part 2, and whatever we finish in part 1 of the book we carry forward to the next part. But the historians did not find this. Whatever information they got from part 1 of the book, the same information did not carry. There was something missing, incomplete in the second book. So the information from the next source may not start from where the information of one source ends. So where it ends, it does not pick up from there, it continues with something else. So the information that the historians got from these books was very incomplete. Okay, so that was another problem. And now, as I told you, the other archaeological sources were not so important. Now they relied morely on textual, because I told you paper was becoming cheaper and everyone started using paper to write letters, to write chronicles, religious texts, and finally it became so popular that they were started using paper to wrap food in it. So you can see paper is becoming cheaper, and then we see finally the printing press also coming in. So you see children here, what are the uses of paper that they did in the medieval period that we are studying. They used to write holy text in the paper, chronicles of rulers, that means the timeline of a ruler starting from his birth to when he became the king, when he got married, what are the wars he fought, all that they would write. And letters and teachings of saints, petitions or letters that would send to the government, like you send your application of leave. They used to use papers, register of accounts, where they would write all the salaries and the taxes. And Even there, before, when paper was just had newly invented, they would write manuscripts, they would write books by hand. Printing press was not invented that time, so the books were written by hand, and these books were collected by wealthy people, rulers. They were kept in monasteries, Buddhist monasteries and temples, and then they were also now placed in libraries and archives. I told you, archives, place where the government keeps all important documents. Okay. Children, will now look into the problems that the historians faced with these sources, the textual sources that they got. Now, they were manuscripts. What are manuscripts? Old books and documents that are written by hand. Now, these manuscripts and documents gave a lot of information, a detailed information about things, but they were very difficult to use. Why were they difficult to use? Let's look into the reasons. First reason is that there were no printing press in those days, so these books had to be written by hand. If you one book, if one person writes a book and you need another copy, you never had the printing press, so it had to be copied by a scribe. Now, who is a scribe? A person who writes copies of documents, especially before the invention of printing press. So they would write it by hand, they would copy. Like you miss a class and then you want the notes that the teacher has given, you take your friend's notebook, and when you're copying the notes, certain places you don't understand the word, so you just make up and write something you've not understood. Just to complete it, you just make up another word, like you will spell person wrong, or you will write people instead of person. So some kind of changes you will make because you've not understood what your friend has written in that note. Okay, the same thing happened with these scribes. They would copy the original book, and they would write it, copy it, and when they would copy it, the certain words they would not understand, so they would make small changes. So each copy, and they were not one scribes, there were various other scribes who would do this work of writing. Okay, so they continuously made changes wherever they didn't understand the word. So each copy that they got was different from the others. And now these small differences grew bigger and bigger over the centuries when they started copying from one to another. And was a serious problem. Why was this a problem? So we'll see into the problem. So you see, since we rarely find an original script, we have to depend on the copies made by the later scribes. Therefore, the historians had to read different manuscript versions of the same text to guess what the author had originally written, because the scribes made those changes. So that was the problem with these sources, okay? Because original document was very rare, it was one. So they had to depend on the copies written by the scribes, and then to understand they had to read all the manuscripts versions to understand what the real history was about. Children, another problem for the historians was that some of the chroniclers, who are the chroniclers? I told you, who wrote documents and were writing historical events according to the date, according to the chronological order, and the manner it has occurred. Like we start from her date of birth till present day. Okay, so they would continuously revise and make some changes in their chronicles. Now let's take one example here. There was a 14th century chronicler called Ziauddin Barani. He wrote two books, two versions. Okay, one he wrote in 1356 and the other 2 years later in 1358, and both the versions were different from each other. Okay, so you can see here he wrote two, one in 1356 and one in 1358, 2 years later, and both the versions were different. Okay, so we'll see what was the problem created. So the historians did not know that the first version existed. They did not know where this first version was. They only read the second version, and they only found the first version in 1960. Why did they find in 1960? Because it got lost in the library collections that they were there in the archives. Nobody knew that this book existed. So you see, while writing history, they had to do so much of research. This was another problem that they faced. Children, the third problem that the historians faced was the kind of handwriting that they wrote in the manuscripts. sometimes we teachers also don't understand your handwriting and we ask you write it properly, write it neatly, isn't it? We keep telling you. And those manuscripts were written in languages like Persian and Arabic. Okay, like I'll give you an example here. Nashtaklik style was a cursive and it was easy to read. You can see this is easier to read. And Shiksaste is denser and more difficult to read, very dense, you can't understand what they have written. So it became very difficult for the historians to understand the handwriting. Okay, so writing history became very difficult for the historians, especially during this time, the medieval period, because they had to look into all the manuscripts that were available to understand and write an authentic history. So you see, children, the difficulty that the historians faced while writing history during this span of 1,000 years. As I told you, they had to depend more on textual sources which are written by hand, and because of the handwriting and because of the discontinuity in the sources, they had a real difficult time to really understand the history of this period. Okay, so now we have finished with this topic, historians and the sources.